this is 13 with Superior Mobile by 13, and my goodness, first and foremost, let's just talk about that license plate on the front of this truck. As you can see, it is from Ohio. This is Kelvin's 2017 Dodge Durango, and I would like to point out how appreciative I am for him and how much I love him, because he is such a sweetheart. He has now set the record for longest drive to come to Superior Mobile. He came from Cleveland, Ohio, drove all the way down to Tarpon Springs, Florida for me to install his headlights and a few other goodies, and I am so extremely humbled and honored and appreciative of that gesture, and I really am proud of the way this came out. So I think he's going to be extremely happy. So first of all, let's just discuss what the vehicle is. As I said, it's a Durango, and what the build, you can go see the other build video for this particular guy. We can see these headlights are really cool. They match quite well onto the vehicle, and they do a lot of really fancy things. So let's start showing that off, shall we? Now, this is a little rare when I'm actually going to say that the demon eyes are pretty much the least interesting thing on this, but we do have the Diode Dynamics demon eyes, the RGBWs, which are extremely bright, running off the Diode Dynamics app. Combined in the MD2S projector with the Multiply, it is insanely bright. As you can see, we've got the Superman lens etching on that side, and then we also have the Mr. and Mrs. Jackson etching on this side. This is, of course, RGB, so there's our green, there's our red, and then we can also put it on a pure white mode. So it is extremely bright and very pretty. But since that isn't the main show here, I'm going to turn that off for 1 second, and then we're going to turn on some really cool stuff. Now, I don't get to do a lot of Flow Series work for one reason or another. I think usually either people don't understand the technology or it's cost prohibitive for a lot of builds, but I am always super excited when I get to, and this one is definitely no exception. So check it out. Look at all of the Flow Series stuff. So obviously we have the headlight builds accompanied with the fog light Flow Series halos that I had shown you previously on that build video. But while he was here, I also did Flow Series strips in the grille, the upper and the lower grille. And so what makes this particularly interesting is, again, I'm a huge fan of indirect lighting for grille lighting. Cool, there we go. Now we're on auto mode. And so it's gonna just cycle through different designs as I talk, so that'll be really nice as far as showcasing what this thing can do, because obviously with the app you can control, it's like up to 200 different modes, and you just kind of pick and choose your favorite ones, or you can put it on auto mode and just let it ride. So as I was saying, I was a really big fan of indirect lighting inside a grill, so you can't actually see the strips. And so I've got 4 strips. I've got 2 along there and then 2 along there, and I've got them running opposite directions, so it kind of, as you can see, you get that little little chasing pattern in there, which I think is really, really cool. I prefer that over the alternative style where they all flow the same way, and it looks very unbalanced as far as the grille design is going. So to reiterate from the previous build, I've got a Flow Series tube that is installed in what would normally be a DRL location. We've got the Flow Series halos that are behind smoked halo diffusers, and then down here we again have Flow Series halos. These are the external waterproof ones, again behind smoked diffusers, which helps it blend in so it doesn't look obnoxious. Now, if I may show off something that's really, really exciting about this is, of course, the turn signal. Everybody who knows me knows that I love turn signals, and this one I got to try something a little bit new and different, and it is pretty impressive. So hold on, let me show you. So this is our new turn signal. I've got a little video footage from overnight as well last night, but as you can see, it's a sequential across there, a sequential halo. That's still the incandescent, because let's not get into Mopar and replacing the LED bulbs. This has a Flow Series sequential halo, as well as the grille, as you can see. So the grille is what I've never done before. I've never done Flow Series strips in a grille that do sequential, and I just think it's a really cool effect. During the day, it's not quite that bright, which is again why I've got the footage from last night, but it's definitely visible, and if nothing else, duh, obviously everything over here is blinking, so the turn signal is pretty obvious. I guess the final feature really worth mentioning on this particular setup is that we have amazing headlight output. This is not just a show truck as far as lighting is concerned. This is still a very functional, very useful output. Running 50 watt ballasts on this bad boy and 6500 Kelvin bulbs, we're going to get a pure white output, very high intensity, beautiful cutoff, as well well as running the Morimoto 2-stroke LED bulbs down in the fog lights, which will just give you a nice little supplementary bright pure white output. So that's very, very nice. And I can do a picture overlay of a output shot on the garage wall from last night when I was tuning and aiming the headlights. And that's really it for this build. It was a really hot day yesterday. It hit 104 in the shop as I was working on this thing, but I sweated my way through and I got it all done in one day. Again, super amazingly grateful for Kelvin for driving all the way down here from Ohio for this. For pricing and product information, please refer over to the headlight build video description itself. This one is just the installation, just to showcase what it all looks like when it's on the vehicle, and it's really cool. This is 13 with Superior Mobile by 13. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Have yourselves a wonderful day and stay cool out there. Woo!